ॐ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं हरि ओम. In the last class, we saw first 3 verses of 7th chapter, which are very important. Introduction. We have given introduction and we have started 7th chapter. First 3 verses we saw. He says, Maya saktah manapartha yogam yunjan madashrayah. Asamshayam maha samagram mam yathagnasyasi tat shrunu. So, I'll now explain to you, Arjuna. With mind intent on me, maya asaktah, and keep taking refuge in me. So taking refuge in me, yogam yunjan. So take my refuge, support and practice the yoga, meditation, etc. Sadhana. Then without any doubt, mam samagram mam yathagnyasasi. How you will come to know, without any doubt, the totality of me, the total wholeness, whole being, samagram mam, wholly, you will know me fully. How do you know me fully? With the mind intent on me and performing sadhana, practicing yoga, taking refuge in me. How shall you do it? We also saw yesterday last class some important thoughts on work-life balance, asakti and ashraya concept of these two. If somebody has not heard, please listen to them in the last class. Now, I will explain to you Jnanam te aham savijnanam. And then with vijnana, not only mere knowledge, but with experience, with realization, I will provide you. Yad jnatva nahya bhuyah anyat jnatavyam avashishyate. Having known which, there remains nothing else to be known in this world. So, sarva karanam you will know. And then, if Vedanta is such a so complete science, Shankaracharya says, why then people are not realizing it so easily? But it's available for everybody. Why is that not people are not realizing it easily? So Krishna said, Manushyanam sahasreshu. There are so many, out of so many beings, thousands of human beings, somebody, yatati siddhaye, somebody put forth their efforts to realization, for realization. And among them, all the strivers, somebody will know me, tattvataha. In essence, very rare individual will come to know me. That is what Bhagavan Krishna said. Now, having said this much, right? Now, Bhagavan Krishna said, I will explain to you both knowledge and realization, jnanam and vijnanam. So, having said this much, so Bhagavan Krishna explains now the field, how it is, because higher knowledge and lower paraprakriti, both he will tell now. So, very important shlokas are there to understand. See, to get some kind of a comprehension intellectually first. Then meditation becomes easy. For that comprehension, we must try hard. Okay. Now, Bhumirapo nalo vayuhu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yam me bhinna prakrutirashthada Bhumirapo nalo vayuhu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yam me bhinna prakrutirashthada. So with the third verse, the introduction part to 7th chapter is completed. So what is the core teaching of the 7th chapter? So he will introduce the subject matter, 4th verse to 12th verse is a core subject matter of 7th chapter up to 12th verse. Afterwards, expansion with more details and Bhagavan Krishna will give you. And remember, what is Bhagavad Gita? Upanishad Saram. So Bhagavan Krishna has taken out all these teachings not independently. The basis for all of them is in Upanishad only. So from that, a little bit introduction will go, then only we will understand the creation part of it. Then we'll go into the meaning of this sloka. Now see, all the Upanishads speak about Jagat Karanam, the cause of the entire Jagat is called as the Ishvara, the God. So Ishvara is defined as Jagat Karanam. Ishvara Jagat Karanam. Now, the moment you say something is the cause of Jagat Karanam, the cause must be have twofold. The cause must be twofold, cause should be there. Why? Because to anything you want to create, there must be two things. One is raw material, second is the creator. So technically, we speak the raw material with which the universe is made is called Upadana Karanam. Upadana Karanam. Material cause must be there, no? Right. Material cause. And second is what? Material is there, but somebody has to construct the house. The sand and the cement and the bricks and water and all those things, steel are all available. But somebody has to construct them. So material cause is there. House, somebody has to construct the house. There must be called efficient cause called Nimitta Karana. So intelligence principle is required. Intelligence principle is required. That becomes the responsible to convert that raw material into a product. So these two are essential. One is conscious principle, other is the raw material. Please understand. Both are necessary. Otherwise, there cannot be any creation. So then only creation comes to existence. So mere matter cannot create by itself. There must be an intelligence principle. An intelligent principle is there, no matter. In that principle also cannot create anything without the help of matter. Now, when we say Ishvara is Jagat Karanam, the next question is, whatever the effect comes out of a cause, the effect should be of the same nature of the cause, isn't it? Pot came from mud. So the nature of the pot, the substance with which the pot is made is the mud. So the effect the pot also is mud only. So mud itself in another form is the pot. But in creation, we see both intelligent principles are there and matter is there. Both are there. Conscious principle and insentient. Sentient and insentient. Chetana and Jadavastu. Both are created. Now the question is, how come from the same cause two differently opposite effects can come? Opposite effect is what? Consciousness and matter. Sentiency and insentience. So insentient matter, consciousness sentient. These two are opposite. How come these two can come from same principle? So this is the question generally asked by the student who is thinking. So Upanishad answers. In Mundakopanishad, this mantra comes. What is that? Yathorna nabhisrujate gruhnate cha yatha pruthivyam aushadhayas sambhavanti yatha satah purushat kle keshalomani tatha aksharat sambhavati iha vishwam. Beautiful things. In Mundakopanishad, this is a big commentary is there on this. This example is what? First example, Yatha Urnanabhi Srujate Kruh. For example, Pruthuvyam Aushadaya Sambhavanti, Yatha Purushat Keshalomani. These three examples are given. Similarly, Aksharat, from that infinite pure consciousness, Vishwam has come into existence. The universe has come into existence. Now we are not talking on Mundakopanishad. But I just want to give you only one thing. Can you show me an example in which same can be both material cause and efficient cause? One and the same entity? Yes. So Upanishad takes out example of spider. The spider's web, the material for the spider web comes out of the spider. And after that, extra thread is lying down, it just swallows again itself. So the entire matter, the material, comes from the spider, which is sentient principle, conscious entity. So from Ishvara, Vishwam, Jada Padartham also has come. So he is the sentient principle. From him, both sentient beings are created and insentient matter also is created. These examples are there. So that Jagat Karanam is actually one, out of which both the matter or insentient, the matter and also sentient human beings, not human beings, sentient beings have also emerged from same consciousness. Now, these two principles, Jagat Karanam. So Bhagavan Lord Krishna pointed out that that Lord consists of two principles. That Lord Krishna said, two principles put together is God. One is what? Matter principle, and second is conscious principle. Both put together is God, Ishvara. So these two are inseparable. Because both are come from same thing. So the Supreme Being only created these two. These two Prakritis are created. One is conscious in Prakriti, that I will tell you later on. And then the matter. Both have come. This is called Ardhanarishwara concept. Think. Ardhanarishwara. So Ardhanarishwara, what represents both the principles of God. And these principles of God, two principles of God. One is consciousness, other is matter. These two principles of God, Bhagavan Krishna named here in this chapter as, we will explain to us in depth, Para Prakriti and Apara Prakriti. The higher Prakriti principle, Apara Prakriti, the lower or inferior principle. These two. So consciousness is higher Prakriti, the matter is lower Prakriti. What is the difference? I just now told you. The Paratattva, Paraprakriti is pure consciousness. And that consciousness can never be created or destroyed. It is there. That is called Paraprakriti. Nirguna Chaitanyam, that consciousness by itself is Nirguna. And this Nirguna Tattvam, consciousness is free from all modifications. So modifications are all happening only in Prakriti, not in consciousness. But consciousness also is higher principle, higher Prakriti. Right? This introduction is necessary. So now, therefore, when these two are created, higher Prakriti and lower Prakriti. Now, Bhagavan Krishna explains now that Paraprakriti and Aparaprakriti, this is the first level. One Paraprakriti, when Aparaprakriti at the first level of creation. Both are created. Very careful listen. First, these two are created. Conscious principle and matter principles. Both are created. So, this Aparaprakriti multiplies itself into eightfold principle. That's what Bhagavan Krishna said. So, lower Prakriti multiplies itself into eightfold. So, first creation. First level is what? First level is expression as conscious principle and matter principle. Paraprakriti, Aparaprakriti. Okay. First principle. Then second stage is this Aparaprakriti intermediate stage. That's called intermediate stage. Multiplies itself into 8 principles. Ashtada Prakriti. This Aparaprakriti, this Aparaprakriti, lower Prakriti, conscious matter principle, multiplies itself into 8-fold. That is intermediate stage. That we will see later on, how it is intermediate stage. And further from this 8-fold Prakriti, other forms are created. So Apara Prakriti becomes Ashtadha Prakriti. That is intermediate stage. So first Para Prakriti, Apara Prakriti, first these two. Apara Prakriti, Para Prakriti. Matter principle, conscious principle. Then the Apara Prakriti, matter principle becomes 8-fold, divided into 8-fold in different stages. 8-fold Prakriti. This is intermediate stage. And from that 8-fold Prakriti, then further creation is brought out. That is third stage, final stage. Now, in this, conscious principle is remaining the same. There is no change in consciousness. So, Apara Prakriti, first level. Then Ashtada Prakriti, 8-fold form of the nature, second level. Then the different forms and etc. created in the creation, third level, which we see in this creation, which we are able to see it. The more we go, it will be explained. So first understand these 3 levels. First, God principle into 2. God principle as twofold. They're called primordial couple. Both conscious principle and matter principle. First step. From matter principle, it came into 8-fold Prakriti. Intermediate stage. Consciousness is same. Consciousness is always there with everything. Whatever matter is changing, consciousness is always there. 8-fold Prakriti is invisible. That we'll see later on. Invisible. And that invisible universe is brought out, intermediate stage, again further evolved, brought out into manifestation of this visible universe. So Para Prakriti, nothing happens. It's just there. Principle remains the same. And matter aspect is changing. Ashtada Prakriti is intermediate. So how many factors are there? If you see the 8-fold Prakriti, which is Para Prakriti only, became divided into 8-fold. And the conscious principle is 1. Total 9. Ninth one is 8 principles are there. Matter only in 8 principles. This is the intermediate stage. This is the intermediate stage of the God in creation, creating something. There afterwards comes the final stage. So therefore, from this Ashtada Prakriti, how it has come, Akashad, Vayu, Vayoragni, Agnerapah, Adhya Pruthavi, Pruthavya Aushadibhya, Audabhi, Aushadibhyonnam, Annat Purushaha, all those things. So, what happens to Para Prakriti? Nothing happens. Higher principle is like that, consciousness. But that consciousness reflects into this Prakriti, next stage may. Ishvara principle reflects, they become Jiva, then Sapurusha, Annat Purusha, and then that Purusha becomes Samsari. And where is Para Prakriti then? Oh, sir, these two are there. One is conscious principle. Other matter is constantly changing in stages in the presence of consciousness. The consciousness and matter is first expression of that infinite Brahman. Couple. Thereafter, matter changing. Consciousness standing there is reflecting, is pure, no changing. It just reflects. It reflects also in the reflecting medium also, you cannot change. There is no change in consciousness. Okay, sir. Where is this principle called Paratattva, Paratattva or Paraprakriti, the higher principle? Where is it now? Okay, Prakriti is, we are seeing it. Where is higher Prakriti? Higher Prakriti is, you are the observer. The real essence of Jiva Tattvam is the consciousness. This observing conscious principle is you. Now, having said this much, introduction to this, now Bhagavan Krishna says, let us go into more things. So what happened? We saw Prakriti, Paraprakriti, conscious principle, Aparaprakriti, matter principle. Okay. Now, first one, he says, Bhumi, earth, Apaha, water, Analaha, fire, Vayuhu, air, Kham, space, Manaha, mind, Buddhi, then what? Ahankara. So, etore. Bhumi rapo nalo vayuhu, kammano buddhirevacha, ahankara iti yamme, bhinnaha, prakriti rashthada. This is my eightfold Prakriti. So in the next verse, he says, this Prakriti is lower Prakriti, intermediate stage. Lower Prakriti. Now, what is this now? Wheel creation now. What is Ashtada Prakriti? See, Bhumi, listen carefully. Those who are already exposed to Vedanta, it's easy for them to understand. If not, it may feel something new. No. See, these 5, earth, water, fire, air, space, mind, intellect, and ego. These 5, first of all, these 5, earth, water, fire, air, and space. These 5, we are not talking about these 5 which are visible. Visible 5 elements, about them we are not talking. So intermediate stage, I said no. So these 5 are available in a subtler level, first, which are not perceptible to our senses at all. They are called tanmatras. That alone, tanmatra. So pure space, pure air, pure water, pure fire, tattva, pure prithvi tattva, we cannot see it. They are there. They are there, but we cannot perceive it. They are the causes of this gross world. So those tanmatras. Okay. Then what? This ahankara, mahatattva, avyakta, all these things are ashtada prakriti. Mind, ahankara is cosmic ego. And then mahatattva, cosmic intelligence. All those things. So tanmatras, ahankara, mahatattva, cosmic buddhi and mind, total mind, all these things are called lower prakriti. Now this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? This eightfold prakriti modified into 16 vikritis. Prakriti, vikriti, further modified. Mixture. So that this we can perceive this. So what are 16 vikritis? Panchamahabhutas, which we are able to see. Panchamahabhutas. And next comes is Panchendriyas. That is Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas. How many? 15. Panchamahabhutas, Jnanendriyas, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, 5. Karmendriyas, hands, legs, speech, genital organs, and anus, Karmendriyas, 5. Total 15. Right? Then what? Mind. Mind is a modification of that mind. So these 16 are vikritis of this prakriti. So buddhi, tanmatra, sankara, buddhi, all those things, kam, manaha, avyakta, all these things are there. And the vikritis are modified, all these things. So therefore, tanmatra, sankara, mahatattva, and avyakta, all this, avyakta, unmanifest, all this are eightfold prakriti. Here manaha, buddhi is samashti manaha, samashti buddhi, not individual mind, individual buddhi here. Not individual ahankara we are talking about. We are talking about tanmatras, not the visible, the 5 great elements that are there. No, invisible things are there. Imperceptible. Samashti buddhi, samashti manaha, ahankara. All those are there. So now, together how many? 24 tattvas are over. Sankhya principle. Now, therefore, Bhumihi, Apaha, Analaha, Vayu, Kam, Mana, Buddhi, Revacha, Ahankara. This is my Ashtadha Prakriti, eightfold Prakriti. That eightfold Prakriti comes down again. This Panchamahabhutas will further modify. How they are mixed? No, see, there are so many lokas are there. I told you in some of my previous talks. I don't know which subject, on Geeta or some other text, I don't remember. I think I spoke online also, online only. See, all the lokas are true. All lokas are there. They're all planes. This space, what we are inferring in the space in inferring between the matter. Your space we cannot see. So inferring this. Nakshatras are there everywhere. So in between we are able to see the emptiness. So we call it space. Okay. But this is Panchabhautika Akasha. Already, Panchikrita Akasha. It is already mixed with something. So only 5 elements are there. Tanmatras. How they are mixed? In a proportion they are mixed. All 5. Then what is the space? In space, what is this one? 1/2 is a space, tattva, tanmatra, which is not visible. half tanmatra of Akasha tanmatra plus 1/8 of Vayu tanmatra, not this Vayu, tanmatra, plus 1/8 of Agni tanmatra, plus 1/8 of Jala tanmatra, 1/8 of Prithvi tanmatra. So 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8 is equal to half 1/2. So half this Akasha, what we are able to see, meaning infer, the Panchabhautika Akasha, Panchikurta Akasha, this contains actually 50% of pure Akasha mixed with all the four other elements with the formula of 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8 is equal to 1/2. So 1/2 plus 1/2 is equal to 1. Thus this space is created. So this space contains what? The mixture of all the four other becomes Panchikurtam in this space. Then what is Vayu which we are able to feel it? Vayu is 1/2, half of the Vayu Tattva, principle of Vayu. Okay. And the other half is divided among four. You understand? Half space is gone. What about our other space? Half space, other half is divided into 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8. एक टुकड़ा एक में डाल दिया. 1/8 of space is gone to air, 1/8 of space gone into fire, 1/8 of space gone into water, 1/8 space gone into Prithvi Tattva. So all those that 1/8 distributed. So Akasha is 5. And then other four, how did you make it completely? Because from all other four, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8, 1/8 is added to that. So Akash. Now what is Vayu Tattva? Vayu is 50% Vayu, 1/2, plus 1/8 space, 1/8 fire, 1/8 water, 1/8 earth. Then what is Agni Tattva? What we are able to see fire? Perceptible fire. 1/2 of the Agni principle, which is invisible, imperceptible, Tanmatra. And how did it brought into our cognition? This is how brought into cognition. Half fire, 1/2 of fire tattva, plus इसको और आधा जोड़ना है. कैसे जोड़े? So 1/8 of space, 1/8 of air, 1/8 of water, 1/8 of earth principle. That becomes this fire, visible fire. What about water? In water we can see it. That water is a combination of 1/2 of water principle, plus 1/8 of space, 1/8 of air, 1/8 of fire, 1/8 of earth. And what about earth? Earth is from Prithvi principle, 1/2, which is imperceptible. Plus, how did it brought into this earth? We added all the four. 1/8 space, 1/8 air, 1/8 fire, 1/8 water. This is called mixture. After mixture, having mixed up, that particular element became perceptible. So from to see them, from Tanmatras only, Jnanendriyas and Karmendriyas, all of them have come. So this is how the entire Srishti created. So this is, all lokas are true, as I said. But in this loka, this is the mixture. What about other loka? Other mixtures. Principle is different. Formula is different. So when formula is different, to see that particular loka, for that lokavasis, the denizens of that world, to see that matter is a different formula. Accordingly, their indriyas are created. So that their eyes can see that form, their ears can hear that. So these Jnanendriyas, they have their Karmendriyas of that particular loka, which is not possible for us to understand. So our Karmendriyas and Jnanendriyas are created only to see this. After mixture, this Pancha Mahabhutas and their different forms, they are created, objects they are created. To see that, these eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin are given. But same eyes I cannot see dusra loka. Other loka I cannot see. Other world I cannot see. Because other world is matter, same matter, Panchamahabhutas only. For mixture, formula is mixed differently. And that loka to that, you need to have that particular instrument to see that loka. Where are these lokas? In same space, infinite span, Akash Tattva only they are there. Same place, all the lokas are there, the universe. So this is called Bhinnaha Prakriti Rashtada. Iti Iyam. This is my eightfold Prakriti. This Prakriti is lower, he says. Apareyamitastvanyam Prakritim Vidhi me param Jiva Bhutam Mahabaho Yayedam Dharyate Jagat Apareyamitastvanyam Prakritim Vidhi me param Jiva Bhutam Mahabaho Yayedam dharyate jagat apara iyam. Iyam means this is what I said now. Eightfold prakriti is apara. Apara means lower. So this is the inferior prakriti. Which one? Eightfold prakriti. So said no, conscious principle is higher prakriti. Matter principle is lower prakriti. From that lower prakriti, avyakta prakriti, from that prakriti, he created Ashtada prakriti emerged out, eightfold form of prakriti. It is called intermediate stage in the creation. From that again, entire this physical universe has come into existence. All the physical universe, whatever galaxies, universes, you can perhaps see. Universes we cannot see, other neighboring universe we cannot see. And certain galaxies are not visible in the universe. There are 100 billion galaxies, 100 billion stars in galaxies. That's a huge system. So my God, this is a vast creation, infinite. So it's like a distance, we only speak about light years only. Light years only, the distance we speak about. If something greater than something is discovered faster than the light, they say that there are some particles maybe that have to be discovered, something suspended. Like there's a tachyons or something is there, which travel maybe faster than the light. Not yet discovered. There are many mysteries in the universe which we don't know. So till that is further discovered, it made place, done. We see the light years only. Light travels in per second, 3 into 10 to the power of 10 centimeters per second or something. Studied all, forgot. That much speed of light and the light year, the light travels in a year. So we distant calculated between galaxies and all that only in terms of light years. So vast this is. And all this visible universe is lower prakriti. Intermediate prakriti is beyond this. उससे भी और नीचे आ गया a physical universe. Out of that matter of the tanmatras, see how many universes are created. Infinite. For the power of the God. Therefore, this intermediate prakriti, what he spoke is apara. Apara, na para, nikrishtha, ashuddha, anarthakari, samsara bandhanatmika iyam. Shankaracharya says. Apara means na para. It is not higher. That means what? Nikrishta, lower. Ashuddha, impure. Anarthakari, it brings all kinds of problems. This lower prakriti. Samsara bandhanatmika, and it binds you to samsara, lower prakriti. So it is binding us to all samsara. Apara Prakriti. So what is Apara Prakriti? The sum total of all insentient things is Apara Prakriti. To put it in simple way, the sum total of all the Jada Padarthas, insentient things, is Apara Prakriti. How do you define insentient matter? What is that insentient matter? Insentient matter means what? There is no consciousness. That means what? There is no I, self-consciousness in the data. There is no question of I in this laptop or table or book and chair. There is no I there. I, individual consciousness, is absent. So chair cannot say I. Table can't say I. That is matter. Therefore, it is inferior. Why? Because it is unconscious. No consciousness is there. And what is the nature? Its nature, Swabhav, is worldly bondage. Samsara bandhanatmika. It creates bondage. There is a magic in the throne. So a magic wand of magician. And we get fascinated by this Prakriti. Really fascinated. Okay. Apara iyam. This is lower. Itahatu anyam prakritim vidhi. Other than this, there is some other Prakriti. Please know. What is that? Param. Itastu anyam param prakritim vidhi. Other than this, other than the word matter, there is something called my higher Prakriti, conscious principle. Please come to know about it. I will speak about that. Higher Prakriti. And what is the nature of the higher Prakriti? What is that? It is called Jiva Bhutam, a Mahabaho, O mighty armed one. That is called Jiva Bhuta Prakriti. That very life element, the conscious element, conscious principle in everything. That is called that higher Prakriti, that consciousness. Again, further reflected in the matter, Buddhi, then became many, appearing. The sun is one, reflections are plenty. But the reflected, we say reflected consciousness, that is also the consciousness only. This reflected consciousness also has borrowed all the properties of the original consciousness. So same thing. That enlivens the matter in which it is reflected. So this is called higher Prakriti, Jiva Bhuta Prakriti. Why it is sentient? Because it is Kshetrajna, knower of the field. Kshetrajna, knower of the field. Jiva Bhuta Mahabhav. And it is in essence identical with him. This consciousness principle is what? Is a knower of the field of my ahankara, this individual. Capital knower is different. That when we come to 13th chapter, we will see. But I know my thoughts, I know my world, I know my desires, I know my hobbies, I know my habits, I know my weaknesses, I know my strengths, I know what my thought world. I'm illuminating now. I know what is happening to me right now. I'm illuminating. So I'm the knower of my field. Matter cannot be the knower. So, Jiva Bhuta Prakriti is there. The conscious, similar total consciousness. Yaya idam jagat dharyate. By which, at our level, this lower Prakriti, the body, mind, intellect, Padartha is upheld, held. Similarly, The consciousness upholds or holds or held the entire Prakriti, entire matter. This world is upheld. The consciousness. So without that consciousness, the world cannot exist. The consciousness which is holding it, support of it. Yaya idam jagat dharyate. So, what did we study now? There are two Prakritis. Higher Prakriti, lower Prakriti. Higher Prakriti is conscious principle. Lower Prakriti is matter principle. The higher conscious principle upholds this matter. Otherwise, how can you say something exists unless you illuminate? So, illuminating it, something is existing. So, matter is whatever is changing is called apara prakriti. Conscious principle doesn't change. It's just illuminating it. So, whatever you experience is apara prakriti. Remember that. Whatever you experience is apara prakriti. Then what is para prakriti? The very experiencer, the illuminating principle. You are that conscious principle. You are the experiencer. And therefore, observer is Jiva is para prakriti. Observer, Jiva is para prakriti. I'm observing it. Jiva, para prakriti. And what is the observed? Shariram ityadi. Everything is observed is apara prakriti. So, observer is a Jiva, the one who is aware, the awarer, the experiencer. I am the para prakriti. And in essence, I am him. I am that. Tattvamasi. So, our conditioned consciousness, conditioned, the space in the pot is conditioned. But the space in the pot is, in essence, one with the total space. Why? Space is actually indivisible. So, division of space is a myth created by illusion, created by the walls of the pot. But in and through also, space is pervading. This illusory wall, which is actually cannot divide space, but it is seen as though the pot is dividing the space. But space is indivisible. Even if you go to atomic level, the atom level, there's more space than the matter itself. So much of space is there. So for all creation, Bhagavan Krishna want to say that it is a mixture of what? Para Prakriti, that is the experiencer, and the apara Prakriti, the experienced. That is it. So para Prakriti is observer, apara Prakriti is what? The observed. This is a creation. Think. So you may come to know the para Prakriti, the very Jiva, very consciousness, if you come to know, which is in essence with one with the total consciousness. That consciousness is upholding the entire universe. Dharyate. Because intelligent principle alone is making the show, running the matter, changing the matter from one form to other form, supporting it, maintaining it. And the consciousness is not there, no matter exists. Think about it. So now, these two yonis, that is, these two prakritis, yetat, these two prakritis, yonini, these two yoni, the wombs, are the wombs of, these two are womb, yonini. These two, yetat, yoni. This conscious principle, para prakriti, apara prakriti, lower principle, they become the womb. Think about it. From this, entire things are created. Okay? That we will see in next class. From Sixth verse. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai.